Y'all ready? Let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? You know who it is. Of course, said Divine. Listen, we got a lot of good things going on today. I would love to do a lot of videos off of so many positive things, but what we're gonna do right now is just at the forefront. So let's get into it. Listen, today we're gonna go straight into a video that just is obvious crazy. There's a guy who's just trying to get his money from Western Union from a place. His sister wired him some money, so it's horrible. The cops broke this guy's arm, rib, or something. But anyway, y'all take a look and tell me what you think. Hit me up later and let me know what you think in the comments. Let's go.
Activity, where about?
They said they got someone.
View that camera. I told them what I was doing.
Oasis Signs right here next to the El Rodeo.
I told them what I was doing. I was waiting for my sister to Western Union me some money. I always go there and get Western Union, and they know me.
Hey, you got your ID on you?
Yes, I got my ID. What are you guys doing?
We're out here investigating some suspicious activity,
Well,
sir.
I'm not doing anything. I've been around cameras, so I ain't been doing nothing.
All right. So what were you doing over there at the Walgreens?
Waiting for Western Union. Call my sister right now. She's in Florida. You have a cell phone, call her. Don't
call
me
who?
like this. Call my sister in Florida. Don't do this. What are you doing? Oh my God! What are you doing?
Put your hands behind your back like you told. Put your
What
hands.
are you doing? Oh Jesus! Oh my God! Oh please!
Put your hands.
I wasn't doing anything. Oh my God! Jesus! Oh my God! He's on my wrist. Oh my God!
Stop.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he might be broke.
Oh Jesus! Oh my God! 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 Oh Jesus! Oh, it's hurt! Oh my God!
Yeah, hold on, relax.
Please, sir! Oh God! Oh Jesus! Oh, it hurts!
I'm okay.
What did you guys arrest me for?
You have a warrant for your arrest, please.
Hey, this was the other guy. The guy with the warrants over there.
Oh, what did you do?
Huh?
Like a warrant.
No, there's two different people.
Two different people.
Because they pointed this guy out to me.
I'm so confused. Wait.
Okay, so
Not the one with the warrant?
no.
Get his ID and stuff?
Yeah.
Your own?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
Well, as you saw with that video, cops were absolutely wrong, 100% start to finish. As for the guy's identification, didn't associate the ID or anything. I don't even think he looked at the guy, his identification. That was, the whole thing was just messed up. Anyway, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you hit that like button, hit that bell on the side so that anytime I go live or post a new video, you'll be able to see it. Make sure that you comment. I need to know what you guys think about the show. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if it's something I need to change. Let's get into it. Segment number 2 on this episode. Check it out.
United States of America. So what's your point now?
Well, what's your point, sir?
My point is, why are you wearing that?
Because I can. Officer, can you please? I'm renting this area, and he's harassing me about the shirt that I'm wearing.
America. You're not renting any of it.
I did rent
So
it.
you put a permit.
I have a permit for this.
permit
Right,
to
so
have it.
can you please step away from me, sir?
you
Can you
cannot-
please step away from me?
You're not going to change us. You know that?
I'm not trying to change anyone. I'm just trying to come here
No,
for a birthday
the world
party.
is not going to change the United States of America.
Okay. Okay.
You should not be wearing that in the United States of America.
Okay.
Are you a citizen?
Yes, I am a
Are you a
citizen.
United States citizen?
Can you please get away from me?
Then you should not be
Can
wearing
you please get away from me?
You should be wearing United States of
Officer,
America flag,
officer, I feel
not
highly
Puerto Rico.
uncomfortable. Can
Are
you
a
please
citizen?
grab him?
Are you an American citizen?
Please, officer.
I'm an American citizen. I would like to know, is she an American citizen? Why is she wearing that shit?
Because it doesn't
As you can see, the police are not even, he's not even grabbing him. Like this guy's just walking up to me. He basically got in my face, damn near almost touched me. This is what I'm wearing, guys.
Are you really?
This is what I'm wearing.
You me.
That's it.
Whatever you do, girl.
That's it.
I got some really nephews and nieces that'll
Can you
go
please
down
get away
on you.
from me?
If
Can
you're
you
an
please
American
get away from
citizen,
me?
you should
Can you
not be
please
wearing
get away
that
from me?
shirt
Can you
in
please get away
America.
from
Let me
me?
tell you something.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is an American state.
It is. An
Yes, they are.
American state.
They vote for our president.
You
Do
should
not
wear.
tell this woman. Hey, baby girl.
Calm down. Get away.
Baby girl. You are an American.
I know I am.
I know you are too. Puerto
Hey,
Rico is part of
calm
America.
down.
Officer, I'm renting. I paid for a permit for this area. I do not feel comfortable with him here. Is there anything you can do?
No, we're gone.
Hey, we're not going to sit around and be with you.
Hey, don't you dare walk over here, okay?
That woman.
Okay, well, how come you're saying something when he's going up, but when he was coming up to me, you didn't do anything?
American citizen, and we're Puerto Rican.
Shut the fuck up. You want handcuffs? Shut up.
Alright, I'm done.
And you're wrong.
I'm done. I'm sorry. You're not.
Shut the fuck up.
Mom,
It's their house.
Mom, I'm done. I'm done.
Sorry.
I'm done. Mom. Let's go on over there, Tom, all right?
Come on,
Let's go over there. Get out of here.
you know that if I gotta wait for him,
And man,
there's no order.
shut up. Put him in here.
That officer did absolutely nothing. He did absolutely zero. I told him I felt uncomfortable multiple times. You guys were literally here watching this, and he didn't do anything. He did not do anything.
A white husband and a wife face felony assault charges after she was caught on video pointing a gun at a black woman during an argument.
Get away.
She got the gun on me. He wants to hit me with the car. Call him. I'm telling. Get away.
Tekelia Hill says the confrontation broke out after Jillian Wustenberg bumped into her teenage daughter in a parking lot near Detroit. During the dispute, the 32-year-old jumped into her car and pulled out a handgun. Wustenberg later told police she feared for her life over what she says were threatening comments to her and her husband. Deputies arrested the couple shortly after the incident and seized 2 handguns, which the Wustenbergs had licenses to carry.
So, who is Tom Coleman? He's a former rodeo cowboy with a spotty record in law enforcement and no experience as an undercover narcotics agent. Nevertheless, he was hired by the local sheriff in 1998 to root out drug dealers in Tulia, a desolate farm town of some 5,000 people which has fallen on hard economic times. Early one morning in 1999, Tom Coleman's efforts culminated in the arrest of 13% of Tulia's adult black population. They were rousted out of bed, paraded in front of local television cameras in handcuffs, many of them half-dressed, and charged with selling cocaine to Tom Coleman at various times over the course of his investigation. The town newspaper declared Tulia's streets cleared of garbage. It was 26-year-old Freddie Brookins, Jr., a former high school star athlete with no criminal record. He was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
That wasn't an investigation. It was just a roundup. A West Texas roundup, that's all it was.
33-year-old Yule Bryant, a sales clerk, was charged with selling $160 worth of cocaine.
I was getting dressed. When they knocked on the door, I was still in my boxers. They told me where I was going. I didn't need no clothes.
Billy Wafer, a 45-year-old warehouse foreman, was charged with dealing 2.3 grams of cocaine to Tom Coleman.
I guess they wanted to be on the map. They wanted to be on the map by arresting so many and making this the biggest drug bust that they ever had, whether it was done right or wrong.
Why was nearly everyone you arrested black? I mean, there's some people say that you intentionally targeted the black community.
No, they didn't intentionally target anyone in Tulia. It turned out that way. That's just where the road led me.
He used the N-word to fit in with blacks during his investigation and admits he also used it among his white friends.
The word, yes, sir, I've used that word. I've used it a lot. Yeah, what's up?
Is that a greeting you'd use with me?
Oh, no, sir, not you.
But it's okay to use it around other people?
Yes, sir.
You consider yourself to be a racist?
No, sir.
Do you see how some people might hear what you say and think that you are a racist and that you simply railroaded dozens of people because of their race?
That's been said, yes, sir. But that wasn't the case.
What was the case was that the first defendants to face justice were quickly convicted in 8 separate trials by nearly all white juries. Only one of the jurors was black.
I believe they already had a guilty verdict before any of us even went to court.
They were all given harsh sentences ranging from 20 to 341 years in prison, even though the arrests had turned up no cocaine, no drug paraphernalia, no weapons, no money, or any other signs of drug dealing. The convictions were based solely on the uncorroborated word of Tom Coleman, who had followed none of the standard procedures routinely used in undercover drug operations across the country. Just for the record, did you wear a wire or other recording device?
No, sir.
Did you have any video or photographic evidence that the buys took place?
No, sir.
Did you have any independent eyewitness testimony from another undercover officer?
No, sir.
Did you have any fingerprint evidence?
No, sir.
But don't you want something more than your word?
Mm-hmm.
Another little piece of evidence that can point the finger at that person?
Yes, sir, that would have helped. But that's not how the operation went.
Tom Coleman's great success at securing convictions came despite the fact that some of his cases fell apart, like the one against defendant Billy Wafer, who had his case dismissed when he was able to show with time cards that he was at work at the local seed processing plant at the same time that Coleman testified Wafer was selling him cocaine.
It never happened. He's that good. He's that good of a liar that he convinced the DA and the sheriff that really happened.
Defendant Yule Bryant had witnesses who said he was at a fair 50 miles away at the time Coleman said he sold him drugs. And that's not all.
In my police report, he said I was a tall black man with bushy-type hair. I'm 5'7". I haven't had any hair in like 6-7 years. Wasn't me.
Case dismissed. And then there's the case of Tanya White. Coleman says she sold him $190 worth of cocaine in Tulia on October 9th, 1998 at 10:15 a.m.
That's not possible because I was at the bank in Oklahoma City at 9:45, withdrawing $8. And they got my signature on my withdrawal slip.
How do you explain that?
Well, all I know is she was in Tulia selling me dope on that day.
But how could she be at the bank cashing a check at the same time?
If I wanted to, I could deposit a check in your bank account without you being there.
No, but this has her signature on it, and it was an assisted transaction. So that means that she had to deal with the teller who was there.
Mm-hmm.
So this record is not good enough for you?
No, it's not good enough for me.
It was good enough to get the case against Tanya White dismissed. But her 3 siblings, Donnie, Crimmy, and Kizzy, a young mother of 2, were not so fortunate. They had already been sentenced to a total of 99 years in prison. Elaine Jones, head of the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, spearheaded the effort to free the Tulia defendants. She says what happened there defies logic.
How do 46 drug dealers function in a community of 5,000 people? What's the client base? The market isn't there. Who are 46 drug dealers selling drugs to?
He insists to this day that no matter what anyone says, those defendants in Tulia are guilty.
The defendants in Tulia are guilty of being black and of living in Tulia. That's what they're guilty of.
The jurors in the Tulia trials never heard what Tom Coleman's superiors knew about his checkered background when they hired him. Police officers he had formerly worked for said he needed constant supervision and had possible mental problems, and that he had abruptly walked off a previous job, leaving behind $7,000 in unpaid debts, prompting the sheriff in that town to warn that Mr. Coleman should not be in law enforcement. What's more, in the middle of Coleman's undercover investigation in Tulia, the man who hired him, the sheriff, arrested him on charges of stealing from a county where he had previously worked. Yet he was permitted to continue his undercover operation in Tulia.
It's a situation where all of the law enforcement officers in Texas who knew of Tom Coleman's checkered past said and did nothing at the time of these trials and pleas. Said nothing.
How did it happen? I mean, how did it all go so wrong?
It's an indictment of the war on drugs. It's the way the war on drugs is being fought. Washington is passing out money, and nobody's supervising how it's being spent, applying the standards to these undercover operations.
The U.S. Justice Department has spent billions of dollars over the years funding drug task forces in small towns like Tulia. The more arrests and convictions a task force makes, the more money it receives the following year, which can be used in virtually any way it sees fit. In 1999, Tom Coleman was rewarded for his efforts in Tulia. The Attorney General of Texas named him Outstanding Officer of the Year. But just 6 months ago, Coleman was called upon to defend his conduct before a state judge who was hearing appeals from some of those convicted in the Tulia sting. He said that your testimony was, quote, absolutely riddled with perjury, that you were entirely unbelievable under oath, and that you are, quote, the most devious, non-responsive law enforcement witness this court has witnessed in 25 years on the bench in Texas. That's pretty harsh.
Yes, sir, but that's his opinion. A lot of the juries during the trials, they spoke their verdict. And that was a lot of juries, and that's just one judge.
But that one judge on one day this past summer set the Tulia defendants free.
Welcome home.
Among them were Joe Moore, Kizzy White, and Freddie Brookins Jr.
Finally, man. I know we can't have those 3.5 years back, but we're gonna start where it left off.
As for Tom Coleman, he was recently indicted for perjury. He's also under investigation by the FBI for possible civil rights violations. How has this affected you?
Well, it's took my career away from me, but I'm surviving. I'm taking care of my family, I'm paying my bills, and I'm not doing dope. I'm not selling dope to do it with either. It's been hard, yes, sir. It's been hard, but I'm proud of what I did in Tulia.
All right, we are back. Listen, I want to thank you guys for watching once again. Thank you. Come on back. We got many more videos left for you to check out. I'm gonna try to post something like at least once a week. It's been tough, but I want to do twice a week, but I'm gonna try to go ahead and get that once going solidly. Let me know what you think. Comment below. I will get back with you, and love you guys. Thanks for watching.